Alright, so I'm finally back with a video talking about my rifle setup. I know this was promised many months ago, but I'm back, I'm here now. We're going to take care of that today, okay? And before we start talking about the rifle, the real reason I'm making this is because, yeah, I like to share, what I've put together. It's fun, we all love it, we all share in this passion, but it's also a big part because right now the temperature of the gun world it's a scary place, right? It's sadly, it's almost peak consumerism where you get these guys who, they kind of just are sold on selling you things, and they're very expensive things, and you start to kind of get to a place where you feel like you can't build anything worth something unless you put in $5,000. But that's why I'm here, gonna kind of lay that to rest and show you guys that you can build a rifle and save some cash without cutting corners. So we're gonna get into what I have in front of me. This is my Diamondback DB15. It's a 16-inch AR chambered in 5.56 because we are a Christian nation, so we're gonna run God's caliber around here, okay? So one of the first additions I made to this rifle was a light, and I think that's a non-negotiable for me. I think it should be for you too. And the way to save on that, I bought the Streamlight Protac, which has been a great light. I had it for just over 4 years, I want to say. It cost about 120 bucks. Not too sure on that anymore, but that's what it was when I bought it. Have it with the pressure pad set up here on top of the rail. The one tap hold gives you the light engaged. You can double tap it, give yourself a strobe effect, or you can click the button at the back and it just keeps the light on without having to constantly apply the pressure. And like I said, it's run great for me. Durability on it. I have not babied this thing. If anything, I've been borderline abusive, right? Because I use my rifle, I'm out there getting to the prone position, working off of barricades, stuff like that. So I've definitely smacked it on things. It's come loose a couple of times with this screw up here, but I mean, that's literally the smallest thing. You just cinch it back down and good to go. And then moving a little further back now, I have these rail scales in the mini dot variant, which I bought because I've had these, I think, for just under a year now. I bought them because if you watched my last video, I talked about how this handguard particularly is really thin, pretty lightweight, so it heats up pretty quick. But these rail scales have actually helped a lot in slowing that down. And it's also nice because they give you a little added texture and grip for when you're actually, getting your C-clamp up on the rifle, if you like to do so like me. And then combine that with my little Magpul hand stop here. And it just gives me the perfect amount of grip on the rifle to work through my drills, whether that's, low ready, high ready, or working between targets, and also thinking about engaging, the light. How comfortable is it? How easy is it to access the buttons when I want to? And it just works perfectly, I never have to worry about my arm or hand fatiguing. It gives me the perfect amount of real estate to work with, so I'm very happy with that. Moving back to the optic, this actually is not the original optic that I was running on this rifle. I actually pulled it off another build because what I was running initially was the Burris AR332, which is a 3-time magnification scope, prism scope, yeah. But the problem with that was the ring of the reticle was just too thick. So whenever I wanted to shoot something that was over 100 yards, once you're pushing 200, the ring would actually cover up a lot of the target. And so I just really did not like that. And so I ended up swapping, putting this on here, this Holosun 510C. And I mean, it's been awesome. Like, I'm so happy with it. As far as it's so easy, has such a big window for when I want to get on target. Red dot gets into sight really easily. I've literally never changed the batteries in this thing for 4 years now that I've had it, not once, and it's been awesome. And same thing as far as durability of the Protac. I mean, I banged it on things, and it's just held up great, And now stepping down to this riser, which I think I've had just for 1 year. And this is actually probably my favorite addition to the rifle as far as how it improved the ergonomics and improved my head position, my posture, everything. So we were talking about me working, that low ready, high ready positions, whatever one you want to start with. But particularly, let's just say low ready, when the shot timer goes off, I'm coming up, and it's just so nice because I'm here and I'm able just to get the window right into my line of sight without having to, laterally bend my neck in any way to get my eyes where they need to be. The rifle goes and is in the exact position I want it to be. So this is the Unity Fast Riser. I think it costs $90, which kind of, I don't know, I almost want to say that's steep for just a riser, but I'm not going to complain because I'm so happy with it. So it's like, if I'm happy with it, I would buy it again. Let's just say that. I would have no problem buying it again. And I actually have another Unity Fast Riser on another build I have. So I think they're well worth the money in keeping your head in a better position, and also just awareness of what's in front of you. That's something people don't think about. Is, yes, I want to see my target, but while I'm on target, it's like, what else can I see? To my left, to my right, and when you're in this position, it actually kind of limits that, of your peripheral vision. You just don't seem to get as clear of a picture of what's around you. So I think it's a huge step up in function. And pairing with that, as far as head position, posture, we're going to talk about my stock. So this has gone through, this is now the third stock I've been running on it. Originally it came with the Magpul, I think CT is the stock, but I had to change it because I wanted to run a Sling. Didn't have any QD mounts, so I ended up running a Daniel Defense stock for about 4 years, and it was great. I can't say anything bad about it, but this is just superior. I mean, this Magpul, it's the I believe SLS, but either way, I mean, just this cheek pad, the slickness of it, the thickness, everything, it's just been perfect for that head position and posture. It's just so secure, and it just looks great. So this is like a god tier butt stock. I would definitely recommend it, and it comes with, little QD here in the back so I can run my Sling. And the one thing you can't see that is also housed in the back here is I opted out after quite some time of running the Milspec buffer and buffer spring. Ended up putting a Geissele Super 42 triple braided spring along with a Strike Industries T3 or H3 buffer. I forget what variant they say it is. But either way, a heavier buffer because, as mentioned in my last video as well, this is a 16-inch AR with a carbine length gas system. So this gas is very heavy. They're getting a little bit of just excess recoil from what you would see from like a mid-length gas system. But the addition of that, I'm going to get some hate for this because everyone's going to say, where'd you get that number from? But experience, right? After shooting, close to, I think I broke 10,000 rounds before I changed the actual buffer and buffer spring. And the ejection pattern of this used to be close to 1 o'clock. Between 1 and 2. So that's like right out in front. Once the new buffer and buffer spring came in, we're coming out closer to 3 o'clock. So very much reduced recoil. The gun doesn't really rise and move off to the left like it used to. Now it's just more forward and back with a little bit of rise, but super significant reduction in recoil. And so I'm super happy with that performance that I've gotten out of it. And I want to say, I think the buffer ran me $40 and the spring $50, but that's also hard. I'm terrible at remembering these things, but it's been such a massive performance upgrade that I would do it again. I would put it on any rifle that has a high recoil, such as this. And I wouldn't really call it an upgrade. But basically, it's just like maintenance. I now have a Lantac Milspec BCG in here because I shoot my rifle so much. I wore out the gas rings of the BCG that was given to me from Diamondback, and so now we're here. Does its job, right? And I'm very happy with it. On top, I'm running the ambidextrous Radian Raptor charging handle. And this is one thing, I mean, I own, I think four Raptors total now. And they're just my favorite charging handle by far, especially as a left-handed shooter. I have to have an ambidextrous charging handle because I don't want to be releasing my grip here and then charging it back from this side, because this is where the tab would be on a Milspec charging handle. So this allows me to keep my grip and charge it with my other hand while it's free, and it's just awesome. I think it's the best looking charging handle on the market. That's obviously my preference, but you won't be you will be satisfied if you buy one of these Radian Raptors. I think they're the best there is. In keeping with the Radian family, I'm also running the Radian Talon Ambi Selectors, and I put them into the 45-degree throw. You can put them into a 90 or 45, and I've always ran 90 with the ones that were provided. It was only the single-sided selectors as provided by Diamondback, but now I have that, obviously, Ambi. So I'm like, let's try 45. And when we take it back to how it functions, head position, head posture, grip and everything, when I combine that with now the ability to engage or disengage my safety with my thumb now on the other side at the 45-degree throw, I just get a seamless transition from the position to the ready position. And it's just literally perfect. I don't know what to say. I'm very happy with the form this rifle has taken over the years. And now I'm also on my third pistol grip as well. So started off with the, I want to say it came with the Magpul K2. Was the original grip it came with. I immediately swapped that for the Diamondback, which I ran for 4 years. So basically I ran the grip and the buttstock from Diamondback for the same length of time. And I also really liked their pistol grip, but I had seen a lot of stuff coming out about this new Die Free Co, their Kung Fu grip, offering a very vertical position. I want to say it's 12 degrees. So you just get a very neutral grip on the rifle. And what I'm going to say about it is the jury is still out, because I love how it feels when I'm actually in my ready position. But when I get down, into like a low ready or something, I just feel like my hand's kind of turning in a way that isn't natural, like it's actually pulling away from me. And it doesn't really feel the best unless I'm here. It feels good in the high ready, but not so much the low. So it's just something, like I said, where I don't want to notice, but I notice. So that's where I'm still not too sure about whether or not I'm going to keep it. But for now, it's been nice. Nice enough that I haven't taken it off. And I'm just running some, you can't really tell, but some goon tape on there for some extra grip. And I mean, it's just been nice. And would you look at that, my sling has magically appeared before us. So I couldn't end the video without talking about that, because two of the non-negotiables, I would say, when setting up an AR are a light and a sling. You need to have both to really consider any rifle complete. So what I'm running here, I have the Blue Force Gear Vickers Tactical Sling. And this thing has been a beast. I mean, as far as it never loses tension, always holding when I want it to. I've had it for the same length as my light, so coming up on 5 years now. You have the ability here to tighten, loosen, and like I said, it basically has just performed flawlessly. The only thing that hasn't been flawless is the customer service I got from Blue Force Gear, which was kind of a nightmare when I first bought this sling. I want to say it took 3 months to get it after I ordered it. After constantly emailing their team back and forth, my brother and I had both ordered slings, and they would continue to assure us that it's being shipped this week, it's being shipped this week, and then that just went back and forth forever. And that was our experience. I don't know if that's been the experience for anybody else, but it wasn't very pleasant. Great product, customer service wasn't quite impressive, or as equally as impressive as their product. But I'll give it to them. They make a good sling. So one thing you need, guys, light sling. Don't cheap out on that, man. Like, and I know you're saying, oh, this is a budget build. There's a difference between budget and cheap, right? So don't be going and buying no Chinese knockoff Amazon products that are basically clones, because you have no idea what you're going to get. And they're just, expected to fail, basically. You could say, oh, Holosun is Chinese. Yeah, it is, but they have a reputation, you know what I mean? A good one. So, not quite the same. Don't be buying knockoffs. So, between all this, here we have my complete rifle setup. We've talked about everything. I would say the only things that remain untouched that I have the potential to change would be my bolt catch. I would like a larger lever for that, since I am left-handed. That'd be nice for mag changes. When the bolt is back, get that change, and then just be able to smack the bolt home, and just, a little easier, a little quicker. I don't really think I ever need a mag release Ambi. I kind of it just works well enough to me where I've never thought about it. So really don't need to change that. Trigger, potential for a trigger in the future. But the first thing that will definitely come soon, and I actually have, but it's actually on the back, on that table back there, which you can't see. I have a new 16-inch barrel from Ballistic Advantage that I'll be putting on soon, because I have definitely shot this thing. And barrels obviously have, they only live for so long. So that'll be coming soon, barrel swap. And I'm excited for it. But yeah, guys, this has been my Diamondback DB15 setup. If you guys have any questions, definitely drop them into the comments down below. If you want any further information that maybe I can provide on any of the things I've done, how I like it, just anything, honestly. Hit me with a question in the comments, or just tell me what you want to see next, and maybe I'll make that happen for you guys. But other than that, really appreciate you guys watching, so have a good one.